Okay, so welcome to day 19 of scaling my consulting agency to 10k a month. Been quite a crazy day today, long day for sure. Much different to that of yesterday. I mean, if you would have watched yesterday's video, you would have seen me basically moaning about feeling very stressed, feeling like results in certain areas of the business weren't going well, and that alongside doing kind of like long hours at work, like at the part-time job, and just feeling like I wasn't in control, like I was kind of losing grip of things. And that has all kind of like changed basically today, which is again why I wanted to do these videos and show to anybody that might be watching who's thinking of trying to go on just some level of a personal development journey or starting your own business, is that even for those that when you actually look on a long enough time scale, they're doing very well. Like in terms of, for me, like the start of August, well, August is like the eighth month of the year, right? So literally like 4 or 5 months ago, when I actually started this business, I had nothing in terms of no knowledge, no, well, definitely no results. I hadn't even stepped on a sales call. I hadn't even reached out to one person within, I hadn't even come up with a niche, let alone reach out to someone in it. To then see where I'm at now, which is where I'm running my own advertising campaigns, which I remember the first time I ever logged into Meta Ads Manager, which, if you're aware of what it looks like, for the first time you see it, you can be like, what the hell is all of this? What are these buttons? Etc., etc., to the point where now I'm spending quite a lot of money every day to advertise my own services, and it's going really well. Today I booked in 3 calls, which is amazing because I spent, obviously this all averages out over the different days, but like today, for example, I spent about 30 quid. I booked 3 calls in, which means that the cost per book call today was like £10, which is insane. And that pulls my average down to about £26. So, like I said, my setup fee is 299. So, obviously, I've booked 10 calls in the last week, which is amazing. All of those calls in total still haven't even cost me the same amount as one person signing up. And out of those 10 people, as you would know from me getting my third client, one person has already signed up. So the ads have basically cost me nothing in terms of the money that I've got just as a setup fee from the first person that joined up has paid for all of these other calls, where I have obviously an opportunity to be able to talk to other business owners just like the other clients that I have, and potentially get them on board and get them to pay the same amount of money, or maybe even more if I decide to go, actually, it's a 399 setup fee. Who knows? Maybe it will feel that way if I feel that someone's really close to going for it. I might test my luck. We'll see. Um, but yeah, obviously, the main things I was talking about yesterday was the stress and feeling that, like I said, like literally a few minutes ago, that things are kind of falling between my fingers. I didn't feel like I had the client results. Today I booked another, I booked a treatment in, I booked a consultation in for, and I should make a note of that because I need to call that lead back. 1 second. But I booked a consultation in for my client, which is great because that's revenue for me as well. If I get about 45 quid in commission per one of these appointments that I get booked in. Initially, I take the deposit, which is £20, and then I get the rest of the money once they actually convert and do the full treatment, which again, great stuff. For my other client, I'm kind of testing different ads. And for the newest client that I literally just did the onboarding with yesterday, I'm building out a campaign tomorrow. Today I worked 6 till 2. It felt honestly longer than 8 hours, but soldiered through. I think it's just it's a Monday, right? So because of that, there's a lot of work to do in between the hours of like 4 and 8 because we have to get all the delivery done before the store opens in like 4 hours between however many of us for like the entire store. It needs to be, completely stocked, looking great. But after that, the work just kind of tails off because if it's not a busy day, if you've worked all the delivery and everything's full, then not much stuff needs to get reworked if it's a Monday in the day when it's not going to be too busy and sales aren't going to be that high. So it did get a bit like boring because there's always something to do there, and there still was when I left at 2 o'clock, there was still stuff to do. Of course, like throughout the entire day, there's things to be doing, but it did drag a bit. Luckily, the sales calls that I had this afternoon, they both got, well, one of them got rescheduled, which is fine. The other one, I just DQ'd her basically, which is disqualified because when I was speaking to her, it turns out that she only does laser treatments, and the most amount of money a client can spend with her is like £100. And I was kind of asking her, I was like, okay, so how much does it cost for you to do that treatment? Like, what's your profit on it? And she just couldn't really give me a straight answer. She was like, well, it doesn't work like that because the laser, like, you have to pay the licensing over a year and the maintenance will be. And I was like, yeah, but surely, like, if you average it out and how many clients on average you'd have a month, you can know how much money you actually make on that. That's something that you would want to know, right? As like, you're selling something for 100 quid, but you're not actually earning it. That's not your profit. And if it is, then, well, if you think that it is like that, then it's probably not a good sign to work together. And also, these are the type of people that she was saying like it was like 60 quid out of that 100, and it's like an hour treatment. I was thinking that's not enough money, you know. That's not enough at all. And then I was thinking, to promote this, there's going to be ad spend. Let's say the cost per acquisition of a client for her is like 10, £20. That takes it down to like 50 quid or whatever. And then I'm going to take my fee, which is 15% of £100. That's another 15 quid. So that's taking it down to like 35 quid. And it's like for an hour of her work, and she sold the thing for 100. She's only made about 35%. It just didn't work, basically. And I just told her, look, if that's all you sell your services for, then we can't work together, because I know I could see it in my head, like her being like resentful of having to pay me the 15%, even if she did agree to it. And I just didn't want to, especially with the client headaches that I've had recently with people that I've decided to work with. I can start to be more selective the more I kind of move forward. But yeah, that's basically day 19. Day 20 is tomorrow, nice round number. And I do not have a shift tomorrow morning. It's actually in the evening. It's a 4:10, but like backwards because it's 4:10 p.m. rather than the 4:10 a.m.s that I've been doing a lot of, which is great because it means that for once it's now 8 p.m. and I'm not in bed like trying to sleep. I can go to bed a bit later, relax this evening, get up nice and early tomorrow, do a load of work, do the meetings that I have, try and get a load of energy again to go to work at 4 o'clock and then work until 10. So yeah, there you go.